In the annals of history, few stories are as captivating as that of the Roman Empire, a grand civilization that, at its height, ruled over a vast expanse of territory, from the misty hills of Britain to the sun-drenched sands of North Africa. This tale begins in the 1st century BC, amidst the ashes of the Roman Republic, as power struggles, political intrigue, and military ambition set the stage for the rise of an empire. The glory days. The transformation from republic to empire was marked by a series of remarkable leaders and military conquests. Julius Caesar, a pivotal figure, crossed the Rubicon in 49 BC, defying the Senate and igniting a civil war. His ascent to power culminated in his appointment as dictator for life, a position that alarmed many. His assassination in 44 BC set off a chain of events that ultimately led to the establishment of the Roman Empire under Augustus Caesar in 27 BC. Under Augustus, the empire flourished, ushering in a golden age known as the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. This era, lasting for over 2 centuries, was characterized by unprecedented stability, economic prosperity, and cultural achievement. Augustus initiated sweeping reforms that centralized power, improved tax collection, and enhanced infrastructure. The famous phrase, "all roads lead to Rome," reflected the empire's vast network of roads that facilitated trade and communication, uniting distant provinces under the imperial banner. During these glory days, Rome became a cultural epicenter. The arts flourished, with poets like Virgil and Horace immortalizing the empire's values and ideals. Architectural marvels such as the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and aqueducts dotted the landscape, showcasing Roman engineering prowess. The empire's influence extended into law and governance, establishing a legal framework that would resonate throughout history. Roman citizenship became a coveted status, granting rights and privileges that unified the diverse populations within the empire. The Julio-Claudian dynasty followed Augustus, bringing both triumphs and turmoil. Emperors like Tiberius, Caligula, and Nero left indelible marks, some through ambitious projects and others through their notorious excesses. The beginning of the decline. However, as the empire grew, so did its challenges. The very factors that fueled its expansion, military conquest, political ambition, and territorial administration, began to sow the seeds of instability. By the 2nd century AD, the vastness of the empire presented logistical and administrative hurdles that tested the limits of governance. The transition into the 3rd century brought a series of crises that would rock the empire to its core. Economic troubles emerged as a result of over-reliance on slave labor, leading to stagnation in technological advancement. Heavy taxation and inflation burdened the citizenry, while trade networks suffered from increasing instability and corruption. The empire's borders, once thought to be impenetrable, faced mounting pressure from external threats. As barbarian tribes such as the Goths, Vandals, and Huns pushed southward and westward, the Roman legions, once the backbone of the empire, struggled to maintain control over vast territories. Additionally, the political landscape became increasingly chaotic. Civil wars erupted as ambitious generals vied for power, leading to a rapid turnover of emperors. In the span of just a few decades, the empire witnessed a succession of claimants to the throne, many of whom met violent ends. This instability undermined public trust in leadership and the institutions that held the empire together. The cracks in the foundation. By the time of the crisis of the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was on the brink of collapse. The once celebrated unity began to fray, revealing deep-seated divisions between the wealthy elites and the struggling masses. As the economy faltered, a growing sense of disillusionment spread among the populace, eroding the loyalty that had once bound them to the empire. The pressures from within were mirrored by the relentless advances from external foes. The Huns, a nomadic tribe from Central Asia, unleashed a wave of migration that sent various barbarian groups streaming into Roman territories. The Visigoths, fleeing the Huns, sought refuge within the empire's borders, only to be met with hostility and exploitation. Their desperation culminated in the catastrophic sacking of Rome in 410 AD, a shocking event that marked a turning point in the narrative of decline. The empire's response to these challenges was a mix of military might and political maneuvering. In an attempt to restore order, Emperor Diocletian introduced significant reforms, including the division of the empire into eastern and western halves. While this decision aimed to create a more manageable administration, it ultimately weakened the Western Empire, leading to its fragmentation. The barbarian threat. As the 3rd century unfolded, the Roman Empire found itself increasingly besieged by external threats. The once formidable Roman legions, stretched thin across vast borders, faced relentless pressures from various barbarian tribes seeking to exploit the empire's weaknesses. These groups, including the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns, were not merely marauding invaders. They represented a significant socio-political force, reshaping the landscape of Europe. In the late 4th century, the Huns, a nomadic group from Central Asia, began to push into Eastern Europe. Their fearsome reputation preceded them, as they employed superior cavalry tactics and struck swiftly. The Huns' westward expansion triggered a domino effect, forcing the Visigoths and other tribes to flee into Roman territories to escape their wrath. Seeking refuge, the Visigoths sought permission from the Roman authorities to settle within the empire's borders. However, the empire's response was marked by neglect and exploitation, leading to increased tensions. The turning point came in 378 AD, during the Battle of Adrianople. The Roman Emperor Valens, eager to quell the growing unrest, faced the Visigoths in a catastrophic encounter. The Roman legions, underestimating their adversaries, suffered a stunning defeat. This battle is often cited as one of the first significant defeats for the Roman military, and it sent shockwaves throughout the empire. The loss not only emboldened the Visigoths, but also revealed the vulnerabilities of Roman military strategy and cohesion. In the wake of this defeat, the Visigoths, now firmly established within the empire, moved deeper into Roman territory. In 410 AD, under the leadership of their king, Alaric, they laid siege to Rome itself. The sack of Rome was a watershed moment, a profound humiliation for the empire that had once prided itself on its invincibility. The streets that had witnessed triumphs now echoed with cries of despair, and the great city was plundered for 3 days. This event signaled not only the decline of Roman military power, but also a shift in the cultural perception of the empire. The once mighty Rome was no longer considered invulnerable. The division of the empire. Amidst this turmoil, Emperor Diocletian recognized the dire need for structural reforms. In 285 AD, he initiated a radical transformation by dividing the empire into 2 administrative regions, the Eastern and Western Roman empires. This division aimed to streamline governance and address the increasing complexity of managing such a vast territory. While the Eastern Empire, centered in Constantinople, became a center of wealth and culture, the Western Empire struggled to maintain stability. The division proved to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allowed for more localized governance, which was necessary given the pressures of the time. On the other hand, it created a rift that further weakened the Western Empire, as it became increasingly isolated from the prosperous East. The Eastern Empire, often referred to as the Byzantine Empire, managed to retain much of Roman culture, law, and infrastructure, while the Western Empire descended into chaos. The final collapse. The 5th century marked a rapid acceleration of decline for the Western Roman Empire. By this time, multiple barbarian groups had established themselves within the borders, leading to a fragmented political landscape. The Vandals, another Germanic tribe, took control of North Africa in 455 AD, disrupting grain supply lines to Rome and exacerbating food shortages. As the empire's internal cohesion deteriorated, political instability surged. The Western Empire experienced a succession of weak emperors, many of whom were little more than puppets of powerful military generals or factions. The legitimacy of the imperial office eroded, leading to increased infighting and power struggles among various claimants to the throne. In 476 AD, the final act of this tragic saga unfolded. The last Roman emperor of the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. This event is often regarded as the symbolic end of the Western Roman Empire. Odoacer's ascent marked a significant shift in power dynamics, as he declared himself King of Italy, effectively signaling the transition from the ancient Roman order to a new era dominated by local warlords and emerging kingdoms. The aftermath of the fall left a power vacuum in the West. The once unified Roman world splintered into a patchwork of feudal territories ruled by local leaders. The societal structures that had defined the empire began to fade, giving rise to a chaotic period often referred to as the Dark Ages. Legacy and reflection. Despite the fall of the Western Roman Empire, its legacy endured. The Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive for nearly another 1,000 years, preserving much of Roman heritage. The Byzantine Empire became a bastion of culture, law, and education, safeguarding ancient texts and traditions that would later fuel the Renaissance in Western Europe. The fall of the Western Roman Empire serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of power and the fragility of civilizations. It illustrates the importance of adaptability and unity in the face of internal discord and external threats. The lessons learned from Rome's decline resonate throughout history, emphasizing that even the mightiest empires are not immune to the tides of change. As we reflect on this monumental chapter of history, we recognize that the rise and fall of empires is a narrative as old as civilization itself, an eternal cycle that continues to shape the world today.